Alright, so when we left the video last week, we had sanded this down to the right shape, as close as we could get it, and we had another coat of primer on here. This was the kind of reddish orange primer here. Since then I have added some glazing putty, because when you have when you put Bondo on, quite often Bondo will have bubbles and you have to deal with the bubbles. Here's an example of a Bondo bubble. Let me see if I can get it in there. There you go. Get a light to show. It's a blemish that you really can't sand down to without creating a low spot. So you need to go back and fill these. Well, these are really small little blemishes, and you need to fill those with a glazing putty. This glazing putty is just you open it up, put it on, let it dry kind of thing. Unlike Bondo, I really wouldn't want to create a whole nother batch of Bondo just to patch these little tiny blemishes. But we want them out of the paint. Now, I've already gone through one coat of this glazing spot and putty. If you lean on it too much and try to go too deep, it'll crack on you. It's really not designed to go really heavy, but you can put another coat on top of it and get rid of those cracks. The idea here is just we want it flat, and we don't want any of these little blemishes to show through the paint when we get to that last coat. Now, we've already sanded this down to 800 grit, and that's probably as far as we'll go, but now that I'm going to have to fill this with these little holes that are still left behind here, I'm going to have to go back to the 220 and then sand from the 220 back to the 800 grit. There's only a couple of small spots left, but again, if you put too much on, you can see on the back side here, I put too much on, and it will crack on you. But you can put a second coat on and fill those cracks, and get that done. So I'm going to go ahead and put some more of this spot putty on here. We'll get it sanded back down to 800 so it's nice and shiny, and then we'll put some actual color on it. Yeah, so we're getting really close. Okay, so we're about ready to put some color on this. We're gonna spray it with some cardinal red to match the color of the car. Really, the only purpose behind putting the color on here is to get a good sealing coat on it. And once we get that on there, we're going to put about 10 coats of paste wax on it, so that we can get a good mold release when we do finally put it in the mold. Now, this is all you've watched me sanding it and rubbing it with my hands to feel how smooth it is. Well, my body oils and whatever else might have gotten on there can contaminate that finished coat of paint when you put it on. So what I like to put on just before I do a finished coat is some of this wax and grease remover. It's really great for pre-coating, just to make sure that you're not going to have any contamination that could cause a chemical reaction when you get your paint installed. So with a clean brush, I've already wiped it down, but it's really good stuff. Just let that dry off. You'll see it evaporating away. Once this is bone dry, we're going to go ahead and hit this with a rattle can. Not using my HVLP on this. It's just a small little project. And we'll hit it with a rattle can and see what it comes out looking like. All right, there you go. That's looking pretty good with the color on it. Now, this is only one coat, and you can see there's some shadows in there, but we're not going to put another coat on it. This is just the plug. What I will be putting on is a coat of clear. The clear is, again, just to make it so that we can make a really hard finish, so that we can get a good coat of wax on it. So let's go ahead and throw this clear on there. Look at those speedster humps. Man, that really adds some flavor, doesn't it?